Yeah, but have you ever picked potato beetles?
Yeah.
Potato bugs? They're disgusting. They spit. You put them in a milk jug like one of those over there, and by the end of the day, half the dang jug or close is filled with spit. It's disgusting. And they stink. It's a horrible stuff. And you know what else? The way you just talked about? I just realized we didn't get $1 at the end of the row.
You got dinner though.
Yeah, you got dinner.
Yeah.
We got dinner. I'm not sure if that's a fair trade. Whoa. What are you doing in my truck? Hey, come here. Check these out, huh? You know what that is? That one's broken though. That's a bummer. That won't be as good. But that's okay. We got all kinds of cool stuff. We got a couple boxes of these. We got some lights for the project, backyard, some gription tape. And look at that fun thing. But that's not what we're here to talk about. What are we here to talk about? Well, of course, you know, it's a wrapping up of the second half of the educational bee video. It's a little dark. I'm sorry. I'll turn around this way so you can see a little better. There we go. So I guess the string is in the way. And then it's windy. I got to stand in here so we can hear, so we can talk to each other. You know, and the string will just have to be a string. Anyway, let's get back to the point at hand, which is to wrap it up with the bee video. I hope you love it. We're going to have some really cool stuff this time. You're going to get to see the extractor and some of the other processes, which I'm not going to tell you about. You'll just have to wait and see. You got to tune in. It's going to be awesome. But in a second, it's got some cool stuff. And then we'll get to some of those other projects, like some of the lights and the, you know what those are. And then this, of course. Can't wait to get this out. That is going to be fun. So, enjoy the rest of the video. I hope you're having an awesome day. And maybe this will make it just a little bit better with some sweet honey and an educational adventure. All right, let's go. Oh, and by the way, the reason that there are bars in front of the bees are zipping all around, that there are bars in front of this is for bears. The bears have tried to get in here numerous times. And so we've ended up, well, my dad has, having to put, whoa, hey bee, there's a, watch out for that. It's like a jail, it's like a bee jail, but they can get out. It's like a reverse jail. All right, we're gonna get away from this hive. Just because I definitely don't want to get stung. That would suck. Let me show you a little teaser. This is a pretty big deal. See this over here? Something's gonna be happening with the LTD. It's gonna be so cool. I can't wait to, I'll tell you that. That teaser though. Let's get back in here. All right, this room right here, as you can see, is constructed for a very specific purpose. We gotta be quick because this room needs to have heat. Because if you can see that, we have to, the honey won't flow out if we don't get the right temperature, but it can't be too hot.
This tells us what's inside. This tells us what's outside.
Oh wow, look at, that's a noticeable difference.
Where we at, 19?
That's it.
So if it gets too hot, it not only melts the wax, but it also takes the raw out of the honey. So now you've cooked it.
Oh,
It's been
oh.
processed, yeah.
Processed. We don't want processed. So the temperature in there, what's it supposed to be? What's too cold and what's too hot?
We run it up to 90 degrees, but you don't dare get it over 100. Because if you do, it will melt the wax. And if you melt the wax, then the honey's gonna run out on the floor.
All over the floor.
Yeah, but it's gotta be 90 degrees before it will come out of those frames.
It was like almost 100 in here yesterday, and that was getting up to 110, and I think that's why we kept blowing those frames up.
Oh,
When I was
in
cutting
there.
them,
We
They
had to
turned
shut
and
it
they were
down.
just loose in there.
Who would have knew? There's another thing you learned today. Are you enjoying learning? He's right. Dad's like, what? What do you mean learning?
Well, I learned nothing because I spilt the honey all over here. Let the guy run over again.
So,
Yeah, we did have one overrun.
so this hopper intake, it's insulated. So in between these boards,
Oh.
there's insulation in
Yeah,
there
that's
on
insulated.
the top. So Dad mounted it on this pulley system, so we didn't have to take it all down. So this goes up, and these flatten up against the wall.
Well, that's cool. So it's a temporary
Yeah,
system.
roll that up and then take the door down and that front piece. And they go in the back room. The side piece, both side pieces, then
Lay
fold
flat.
in flat to the wall.
And then these fold in.
So,
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that's super cool.
Yeah.
They fold in flat.
It's
We
like
used to have to put it
collapsible.
together every year.
And that would suck.
Well, and that's why my handwriting's on there, because we couldn't figure out which went where. So now we don't have to worry about it so much.
I like it. That's cool. All right, back to work.
Back to work now.
Okay, we've got this full now. And check it out. It's spinning the honey out. Yeah, that's up the side. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you see that? Hold on, I'm gonna get this close.
You have to go slow. Just rip the frame apart.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that honey just flying out of it. And so, how long does this usually go for?
Quite a while because you can't just crank it up, or they're heavy. So the center will just.
Fly right
We
out.
haven't lost one yet today, but we lost a bunch yesterday because I don't know if it's trying to hurry or what.
So initially it goes through a small stringer, huh? Well, or a big one.
From the frames and crap that we blew up already. If we don't blow any up, it comes out pretty good. That's from yesterday. We blew one up the end of the day. I did that one with the, didn't get it capped. Now I'm double checking every time.
That's pretty awesome.
Cleaned up best I could.
Yeah.
I don't want to overfill it because then you got the strainer. The problem is we got the bucket over there still underneath the son of a bitch. Normally you would just, what you're going to do is take that bucket, put the strainer here and give it me.
Partaking of some healing thing too, and I'm going, oh, them sons of bitches, they just want more money than me, you know, and you just, oh.
Well, you did live with one for a really long
It
time.
grows on you, doesn't it?
It does.
You mutate into it. So weird.
That's a slow drain, huh?
Yeah, because it's through a nylon and it filters all everything. It doesn't filter out the pollen, but it'll filter out bee legs and bee parts and all that stuff that you don't want in pieces of wax. You got all that, so you don't want that in the honey.
You didn't know there was bee legs in the
Boy.
honey, did ya? Cool. Oh man, I hate oatmeal to this day. It's the most disgusting thing. I don't know how to describe it. It was, yeah, okay, so it was like boiled. You want to make, so here's how you take oatmeal and you make it even worse than normal. You boil it and then you have to eat it every single day. That's how we had oatmeal.
Yes, but it wasn't whole oatmeal. We had fresh oatmeal every morning.
Fresh oatmeal.
Anyway, I said, what do you want for breakfast, Jake? You said, oatmeal.
Okay, all right. I can't believe he remembers this. There's something very important right here that happened. There was one morning that I got up and I walked out into the kitchen and Dad was like, hey, what do you want for breakfast? This burned into my brain as a little kid, burned. And he said, what do you want for breakfast? And I was like, I'm looking up at the cupboard and I gotta paint the picture. You open the cupboard door and there's oatmeal, like 3 or 4 different brands of oatmeal. And then there is a couple boxes or one box of regular cereal.
And malt
It
meal.
was malt meal.
It was malt oatmeal.
That's oatmeal.
It's still oatmeal. And he's like, what do you want to eat? And I was so used to eating oatmeal that I thought that's what he's asking me, which brand oatmeal? I'm like, well, I think it's all about the same, but I guess I'll take that one. And he went, Okay. And then he made the oatmeal. And then after we're done eating, he's like, I'm really surprised you picked oatmeal. I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you could have picked anything. And I was so traumatized. I'm still dealing with it today. When I realized that he meant I could have had any other, like, regular cereal. And I picked oatmeal because I thought that that's what he was asking. And so now I've had a chance to tell everybody, perhaps I can heal from this.
Got it
move
off his
on.
chest.
I got it off my chest. And yet I still remember of all the mornings to remember growing up. I remember that one when I learned the moment that I could have chose something besides oatmeal. So I don't eat oatmeal. Whoa, how's it going? Are you getting wet? I hope it's not raining where we're at today. It is raining here, but we had to stop the video because something incredible has happened. Through much scientific calculation and mathematical equations, we have pontificated and created a video under 15 minutes. Can you believe it? But I was listening. You were telling us, you were like, I mean, you told us, you were like, hey, you should probably get a video and make it between 10 and 15 minutes. And I, of course, listened to that. And so now, I pulled over here in a Raptor, and like I said, it's raining. Gotta go into the Depa. You know what I'm talking about. You can probably get your hardware at the Depa. It's over there. And so, we're stopping it, and we had some cool stuff in this video, don't you think? I thought it was some pretty awesome stuff with the extractor, the extractinator, and there's some even cooler stuff to come, because we got more. We're not done. We just have to make sure it's in 10 to 15 minutes. And the next one is on some of the tools used to make the boxes and some pretty sweet stuff like that. Some other stuff, a little teaser. But listen, thanks for joining us. It was really cool. You have a great rest of the day. Stay dry if it's wet. I love you, and I'm going to take you out. You know what it is. It's with the fist bump of friendship, this time with honey. Wapow!